everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Now, I have something very, very exciting to show you all today. I have written a brand new Sims 4 Legacy Challenge. I know I've written one in the past. It's a little bit different to the one in the past, but I'm going to come on to explain that in just a second. Now, I will apologize if my voice sounds weird at any point during the video. I have bronchitis right now, and I've been suffering with bronchitis for a couple of weeks. And yeah, 0 out of 10, wouldn't recommend. It's absolutely horrible. But most people would, sit on the sofa in front of a movie, drinking tea, eating soup. I have been doing that as well. But I decided that I would spend my time writing a new legacy challenge, and it's one that I've been wanting to write and do for a while. So I'm going to explain a little bit about that, and then this video is basically, I'm just going to get up my Word document, I'm going to show you the legacy challenge, and we are going to start playing it in a separate video. I know when I wrote my elemental legacy challenge, I did it in the same video, but I know a lot of people just wanted to skip straight to gameplay and then come back and look at the challenge itself at a later date, which is perfectly fine. So I'm going to do it in a separate video this time. Also, if you're wondering what my laptop background is, it's Bramble, the Mountain King. Amazing game, by the way. Highly recommend. Now, the reason that I'm not going to upload this to Tumblr or Reddit yet is pure and simply for the same reason as I haven't uploaded my Elemental Legacy Challenge there yet. I want to try this challenge out in person first. I want to see if it works, if there are any amendments or changes I want to make to it whilst playing through the challenge. So that's why I haven't uploaded it to any sites yet, though I will do that if I like it once I have like a finished challenge, if you get my drift. Now, the reason that I wanted to write this is because I have the issue where I just get stuck in a rut of living in the same Sims 4 worlds the whole time. I just wanted to branch out and do something a little bit different. Now, I know that there's a lot of legacy challenges out there that are story-based, and like in the challenges and in the goals, they have storyline aspects to them. My Elemental Legacy Challenge is the exact same thing, and that is actually right up my street. I love something with a good storyline. Though this time, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I basically wanted all of the challenges and all of the goals to match to skills, features from specific worlds and specific packs. I have conjoined some packs together that don't have their own world. I tried to include as much as I could. Every single world is included in this challenge, except for Magnolia Promenade. I figured it was just more of a retail district and wasn't really a residential living world, even though I know you can live there. So I didn't really want to use Magnolia Promenade. Though I have generations for the 27 other worlds. Yes, I wrote 27 generations of this thing. I am so excited to get into some gameplay. I am going to try and give regular uploads to this, but of course YouTube is not my full-time job. I do have other work outside of YouTube. So I'm going to try and keep regular with my Elemental Legacy Challenge. But for this one, I'm at least going to try and get up at least an episode a month. But my aim is 2. But whether or not that is going to be feasible for me and my work schedule, I don't really know. But we're going to try our best. Stick with me here. And I'm going to go through all of the generations and all of the rules. In case you guys want to try it yourselves, you are more than welcome to try this out yourselves. I had such fun writing it, and I hope that we're going to have a good time playing it. Now, there is a unique feature to this Legacy Challenge, which I'm going to get onto when I read out the rules. So let's just get straight to it, shall we? The challenge is called Sims of the World, and it is by me, Alex Rosity. Hello. Yeah, let's just read this thing. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Sims of the World Legacy Challenge. The whole point of this challenge is to explore the world and gameplay features of each pack. I included as many as I possibly could to challenge myself to play with features and Sims I don't usually play with. I hope you enjoy playing this as much as I enjoyed writing it. Now on with the boring rules. Now, on to rule number 1, and this is the unique feature that I talked about earlier. It's not that unique because I know that other legacy challenges have done this as well, but I just looked at it and I thought, oh my goodness, that is such a great idea. So I really wanted to incorporate that here. So rule number 1, there is no standardized order in which you must do this challenge. You may do each generation in whichever order you like. So yeah, I thought that was a really fun thing to incorporate here. It makes it different from my Elemental Legacy Challenge that I wrote, because that Legacy Challenge, the goals and the storyline of each sim kind of mesh together. There's a big storyline to it, overarching. There's a big overarching storyline to it, whereas here, there is no standardized storyline. It is literally just it's surrounded by the sim, the goals, and the world that they live in. So there's actually no specific order in how you want to do this challenge. You can do it from generation 1 to generation 27 if you like. You can pick your favorite worlds to start with if you like. Or you can do what I did. I randomized every single world. I randomized every single order. I actually have my order right down at the bottom, and my favorite world came out last. That is like typical me, isn't it? Sulani is my favorite world, if you're wondering. But my favorite world literally came out last. So generation 27, I have to wait till generation 27 to get to my favorite world. I think that is so annoying. But again, it's to challenge myself to live in worlds I don't usually live in, so I suppose that's the whole point. But in case you're interested, this is the order in which I randomized to do the challenge. So as you can see, it is pretty random. And I kind of like that about it. And we are going to start with Star Wars, of all things. But you know what? I haven't played with a Star Wars pack in years. And I think I only ever played with it once. So I'm quite excited to do that. Now, rule number 2 is that you must start with a single sim as a young adult or a teen. You can choose. And you can also choose their gender as well. They can be any gender. But there is a little note on here. If you start in Gibby Point, your founder must start as a child with a single parent. Obviously, I know that you can't put children into the world without an adult sim, so you've got to start with at least one child and one adult. To be fair, if you wanted, they don't even need to be their parent. I don't know, could be their wicked stepmother, or could be like their grandparent, or whatever. As long as they're in the household with a single young adult sim, I don't think it really matters. The whole reason, though, that I had to do this is because a lot of the gameplay features for Adventure Awaits revolves around children, and one of the challenges that you have to do is to bring the imaginary friend to life, which obviously you have to work towards as a child sim, so you wouldn't be able to complete that generation if you did it first. Hopefully that makes sense. So yes, any other world, you start with a young adult or a teen. If you want to start in Gibby Point, you can start as a child. You just need a single sim in the household to start with. Rule number 3 is that there are no money cheats allowed. Your starting budget is your starting fund. So you know when you load into the game and for a single sim, you're given 20,000 simoleons to buy a starter home. That's all you're getting. That is your starting fund. Of course, you can build your own starter home if you want, rather than the not very nice default ones. Unless you start with one of the later packs and it was actually made by someone from the Creator Network, because those ones are really cool. But I know some of the Willow Creek ones and the Oasis Springs ones aren't the nicest. So if you want to go ahead, build your own or take one off the gallery or whatever, you can live in whichever house you like. The only thing is your starting budget is your starting fund. So you start with 20,000 simoleons, unless you're starting in Gibby Point, in which case you're obviously going to be starting with 2 sims, so you'll be starting with 22,000 simoleons. But no money cheats allowed for the entire thing. Actually, you know what? I'm going to edit this because I don't think you should be allowed free real estate either. Right, okay, done. Better save that. Okay, so no free real estate cheat, no money cheats allowed. Your starting budget is where you start. Rule number 4 is aim to move to the next world around the time your heir becomes a young adult. So I didn't want to be strict and regimented with this, like you have to move on their birthday or you have to move here. As long as you're moving around that time, you're fine. There's no strict kind of you have to do it then kind of rule. And just added a little note in here is you can play on whatever lifespan that you like. Though I would play it on normal. You can do whatever you like. It's your legacy challenge at the end of the day. Rule number 5 is that the next heir can be any of the previous heir's children. This includes adopted children. And also, I know that in some legacy challenges, your heir has to be the eldest or has to be the youngest. In this one, it doesn't really matter. You can choose whichever one of your heir's children that you want to continue. Rule number 6 is if a career slot has NA next to it, there is no specified career for that generation. Feel free to do what you wish unless specifically stated by the challenge. So in some of the generations, I haven't put a career that you need to max. or any specific career. If the pack didn't come with a career, I potentially haven't put a career there. And sometimes in the goals that you need to complete, there's nothing about a career at all. So yeah, feel free to do with whatever you like. If you don't want that sim to have a career, they don't have to have a career. But there are some times where I've put in the goals, there's no specified career, but in the goals it says to max any career. So your sim has a career, but you get to choose whichever career it is you guys want to do. So I have tried to give a little bit of freedom in that respect. And I think there's one generation as well where the challenge specifically states you are not allowed to have a career at all. All of your money has to be made through potions and crystals. You can probably guess which generation this is now. But yeah, you get my meaning. So if it's not stated in the goals that you need to have a career, you can choose whether or not you want to. Suppose that depends on how much money you have and how desperate you are for money at that point. And of course, rule number 7, I am happy for you to share anything on social media while doing this challenge. I just please ask that you give me credit, as I've worked very hard to put this together. I really, really have. And I've been very sick while putting it together too. But yeah, thank you for reading. And now on with some gameplay. So what I'm going to do now is first, I'm going to have a cup of tea in my Jasmine Dragon tea mug. And then we are going to go through every single generation. Not sure how well my voice is going to hold out, but we're going to try. I filmed an episode of my Elemental Elixir Challenge yesterday, and I was like, right guys, I'm prepared. I've got my tea, I've got my vocal nebulizer. I did have squash yesterday, I don't have squash today. I have my tropical focus fruit smoothie today. So I know in the challenge that I said that you can randomize each generation. I am just going to read them out to you in order. Though I'm not going to be doing them in order. I'm just going to read them out to you in order because I think that's just easier for me. Generation 1 is, of course, Willow Creek. I did literally, with all of the worlds, I literally just went like that, if that makes sense. I just literally went across. The packs for this generation is Base Game and Journey to Batu. The aspirations are Hope versus Order or Galactic Privateer. Now, if a pack does have more than one aspiration, I have listed it and you can just choose whichever one you want to do. The career is Astronaut and your traits are hot-headed, ambitious, good, or if you want, you can switch it out to evil. Spice it up a bit. I'm not going to lie to you as well. I did also try and use every single trait in the game. So I'm not going to lie, that was really fun to go through my game and figure out which traits conflicted and which traits didn't. That took me a rather long time. So down below this section, I've written a little synopsis about the sim, but it's just pretty much about them, their personality, their lifestyle. There's not really a storyline here. So the Willow Creek Sims synopsis says this. White picket fence and idyllic suburban lifestyle, your life in Willow Creek is perfect. But your sim yearns for more than this boring world. They want to explore beyond the stars, merrily playing their instrument in order to cool their hot temper. So your goals for this generation are to complete either of the Batu aspirations, and you may turn off aging while you're in Batu, which I'm not going to lie to you, I will be doing myself. To max the astronaut career, to enter the hidden lot in Willow Creek, to become friends with 3 Willow Creek residents, own a lightsaber, create a droid, and level 10 in either guitar, violin, or piano skill. And this is where we're going to be starting in our little Let's Play on YouTube. We are going to be starting here in Willow Creek, or in, well, Batu, I suppose. I'm not really sure what I want to do, though, whether or not I want to go straight to Batu, or whether I want to try and get some of this Willow Creek stuff done first. I'm not entirely sure. We then move on to Generation 2, which is, of course, Oasis Springs. I actually lived here once, and I actually really enjoyed living in Oasis Springs, which is not a world I ever gravitated towards to begin with, but I enjoyed living here before. But yes, Generation 2 is Oasis Springs. The pack is Get to Work. The aspiration is the Grilled Cheese aspiration. The career is you can be a retail owner, a doctor, law enforcement, or a scientist. And your traits are geek, outgoing, and materialistic. This sim is an oddball. Your sim likes to have their hand in many different pockets and work hard for their money and their possessions. Oh, and they love grilled cheese. It is their favorite thing in the entire world. For this generation, I wanted to use Get to Work because I think those live careers are genuinely really fun. But I tried to also do a big mismatch of base game things too, because it is a base game world. So there's a bit of a mix here between Get to Work and base game. Your goals here are to complete the grilled cheese aspiration, to max one of the Get to Work careers, or own a 5-star retail business. Now, I'm not going to lie, I've never owned a retail business from the Get to Work pack, so I'm not entirely sure if it's like under a star rating. But if it's not, it's just to run a successful retail business. You get the idea. I won't lie, I probably won't be doing this in my own gameplay because I really love the live careers. I think I'm going to go into law enforcement because that is the one that I play with the least. I don't really know anything about it. So I think that's probably which one I'm going to personally do. Number 3 is to enter the hidden lot in Oasis Springs, get to 6am, summon the tragic clown, reach level 10 in rocket science skill, and get a batfish. Now, I think a batfish is actually vampires, but when I was doing some research on Oasis Springs, and yes, I did research all of these worlds very extensively, it said that you could get a unique fish, a batfish, in the hidden lot in Oasis Springs. So that's kind of where that ties in there. Generation 3 is actually Newcrest, and your packs are Jungle Adventure and Outdoor Retreat. The aspiration is Jungle Explorer. There is no standardized career for this one. Your traits are Genius, Vegetarian, and Squeamish. I'm not going to lie, I thought there was something so funny about the sim wanting to explore jungles, raid tombs. Yeah, they have a fear of bugs and they're squeamish. This sim lives in a seemingly normal neighborhood, but they long for adventure. Growing up, they were inspired by stories of incredible archaeologists raiding tombs. There is only one problem: bugs. They make their skin crawl. You can probably see which video game I got inspiration from here. Your goals are to complete the Jungle Explorer aspiration, to reach level 10 in Archaeology skill, level 10 in Salvadoradian Culture skill, find the Hermit, befriend or become a skeleton, become best friends with a Salvadoradian local, Salvadoradian, however you say it, and to obtain a cow plant. Do I count a ghost cow plant under the rules here with life and death? Potentially, yeah. It is technically a cow plant, so you could technically have that too if you wanted it. I'm not going to lie, I prefer the ghost cow plants in game because I just get really sad when my regular ones die. I may also get a ghost cow plant, I'm not going to lie. I need to stop waffling. I've waffled so much. Generation 4 is Windenburg, and the packs here are Get Together and Dream Home Decorator. The aspiration is Leader of the Pack. The career is you are an interior designer, and your traits are Dance Machine, Insider, and Party Animal. And your sim is like this: boring job by day, party animal by night. This sim works hard but also plays hard. There is nothing they like more than tearing up the dance floor on a Friday night or singing karaoke on a Saturday. They just need to keep their job in order to afford their party animal lifestyle. And the goals are to complete the Leader of the Pack aspiration, to complete 10 gigs as an interior designer, to reach level 5 dancing skill and level 10 DJ mixing skill, to see Emily, to woohoo Father Winter. I got a little bit of Seasons in here because obviously, Seasons doesn't have a world, and to sing karaoke 10 times in public. Gen 5 is San Myshuno. I'm not going to lie, I have no idea if I spelt that right. The packs are City Living and Spa Day. Your aspiration is City Native. The career is politician, social media, or critic. You can be any one of these 3. Your traits are unflirty, high maintenance, and then you're going to randomize your last trait. You may have to randomize your first trait thinking about it, because I'm not sure that children can be unflirty or high maintenance, but I suppose we'll see when we get there. Oh, I just finished my tea. That was so nice. This sim craves the city life. Lots of money and a nice apartment. Maybe a penthouse. They work incredibly hard for their money that, quite frankly, they are falling behind in the love department. And your goals here are to complete the City Native aspiration, to max career, so max one of those 3 careers. There we go, I actually just wrote max one of the 3 careers just to make it a little bit more easy to understand. To live in a penthouse or an apartment, to reach level 10 charisma skill, to win at the Humour and Hijinks Festival, to paint a mural, and complete the snow globe collection, which I have never done, and I have no idea how to even get snow globes, so that one might go pretty badly. I don't know. I thought about the poster collection, but that one's damn near impossible. I'm not going to lie, I just didn't want to deal with it. Gen 6 is Forgotten Hollow. The pack is, of course, vampires. The aspirations are Master Vampire, Vampire Family, and Good Vampire. You got 3 to choose from there. You don't have a standardized career for this one, though I do believe you do have to max a career. Your traits are mean, family orientated, and then you just randomize your last trait. This Sims family means everything to them, but they are a mean soul. Why? Because they were unwillingly turned into a vampire. Will they try and find a cure, or make the most of their unusual situation? So the goals are as thus: complete one of the vampire aspirations, max any career, grow plasma fruit, reach level 10 pipe organ skill, to read all 4 vampire tomes, to win 3 vampire spars, and have a fight with a werewolf. Gen 7 is Brindleton Bay, and the pack is, of course, cats and dogs. The aspiration is friend of the animals. Your career is veterinarian, and your traits are cat lover, dog lover, and skeptical. Be they canine or feline, this sim loves them. Their lifelong goal is to care for as many animals as possible, and hug as many as possible too. Their goals are to complete the friend of the animals aspiration, to own a vet clinic, to reach level 10 veterinarian skill, reach level 10 pet training skill, complete the feather collection, woohoo in the lighthouse, and own at least 2 cats and 2 dogs throughout their life. That was also number 7, like 20 more generations to go, guys. Here we are. Gen 8 is Del Sol Valley. The pack is Get Famous, of course. Your aspirations are world famous celebrity or master actor/actress. You're going to go into the acting career for this one. And your traits are self-absorbed, creative, and neat. This sim has always been very creative. However, they have also always been incredibly full of themselves. They crave attention to no end. It was no surprise to anyone when this sim entered into the acting career. That way, they would always be in the spotlight. And the goals here are to complete one of the aspirations to max the acting career, reach level 10 acting skill and level 10 singing skill, to fight the flower bunny, I got a little bit more seasons in here, to place a celebrity tile, and to own a drone. Gen 9 is probably one of my favorites. It's Strangerville, and this is actually going to be our generation 2 for the challenge that we're going to do. Honestly, I actually think I'm more excited about Strangerville than I am Journey to Batu. And I haven't played with Journey to Batu in years either. So yeah, Gen 9 is Strangerville. The pack is, of course, Strangerville. The aspiration is, of course, Strangerville Mystery. The career is military. Your traits are paranoid, erratic, and loyal. Erratic and paranoid are 2 words to describe this sim. Why? Ever since they stumbled upon Strangerville, it consumed their mind. Though something about the place made them fall in love with it and want to solve the mystery of the mysterious goings on. You can say many things about this sim, but their loyalty to the residents of Strangerville could never be questioned. And here you are, of course, going to complete the Strangerville Mystery aspiration. You're going to max the military career. You're going to eat a bizarre fruit, revive the mother, add a spying device on 20 sims, reach level 10 fitness skill and level 10 logic skill. Generation 10 is my favourite world of all time and the one that I'm going to be doing in Generation 27. That makes me genuinely very sad. The world is, of course, Sulani and the pack is island living. The aspiration is beach life. Your career is conservationist, or you can choose to be a fisherman or a fisherwoman as well. Your traits are child of the island, child of the ocean, and bro. The reason I chose bro is I think bro is base game, but in the Sims 3 Island Paradise, bro actually came with the Island Paradise pack. So I thought, let's call back to the Sims 3, and this sim is also going to be a bro. If friends and family of this sim were asked to describe them, the answer would be this: chill. This sim prefers the beach life, slower paced, yet loves dancing on the beach and listening to the ocean waves, no matter how rough they are. To them, there is something thrilling and exciting about living next to the water's edge. And the goals here are to complete the beach life aspiration, to max the fishing or conservation career, to search the cave, to visit the island festival, to use the volcanic eruption locked trait, to scuba dive in all 3 neighbourhoods, and attend turtle racing, which I think is actually a feature that not many people know is a thing. And Gen 11 is probably my favourite occult pack, though I do love mermaids as well. Well, no, I love the aesthetic of mermaids, but I love the gameplay of spellcasters. Gen 11 is, of course, Glimmerbrook. Your packs here are Realm of Magic and Crystal Creations. Your aspirations are Crystal Crafter, Purveyor of Potions, and Spellcraft and Sorcery. Your career is, well, you don't have one, and you're not allowed one in this generation either. Your traits are cheerful, goofball, and lazy. This sim went out of their way to become a spellcaster. They shouldn't have to work, right? They expected that magic would make life easier. Instead, they learned that being self-employed can be just as hard work. And your goals here are to complete 2 of the 3 aspirations. I figured, since you don't have a job, you probably would have more time to complete 2 of the 3. But I figured as well, because like I think Crystal Crafter is actually a really cool aspiration. So I figured, if you wanted to just do the spellcaster ones, you could. If you wanted to mix it up and go like one Crystal Creations and one spellcrafter one, you could. So that's why I picked 2 out of the 3. You're also not going to have a job for this one. You are going to make all of your money from crystals and potions, etc. You need to win 10 jewels, become a spellcaster, complete a collection, and you can either complete wands, brooms, or familiars. You need to grow a crystal tree and cut a crystal into a gnome. I don't think this seems like a lot, but actually I think if you're doing like 2 aspirations and the gnome thing is like right at the end of the crystal like level, if that makes sense. Yeah, you've actually got to work your way up to do quite a few of these. Gen 12 is Brightchester and the pack is university. Your aspiration is the academic aspiration. There is no standardized career because of course whatever degree you choose is obviously going to impact what job you have. So I didn't want to give you a career for this one. You can choose your own. Your traits are loner, practice makes perfect, and disruptive. Now, I do understand that practice makes perfect came from an event, and of course the event is over, so you can't get that one now if you don't have it. I feel like since it was a free event, most people will have it, hence why I included it. However, if you don't have the practice makes perfect trait, either randomize the trait or just change it to perfectionist. It's pretty much the same thing anyway. This sim wants to succeed in life. In fact, they put their life on hold in order to study at university to get a leg up in their desired career. However, due to their disruptive tendencies, they find it hard to focus. One moment they are in class, the next they are building a robot and joining a secret society. Will they ever actually finish their degree? And your goals here are to complete the academic aspiration, to max any career, to complete a university degree, and of course you can turn aging off whilst you're at uni. Otherwise, your sim will be an elder by the time that they graduate, unless you're playing on long lifespan. And even then, I think it's pushing, well, actually no, long lifespan is ridiculously longer than The Sims 4, isn't it? But you're also going to build a servo, reach level 10 in robotics skill, juggle a soccer ball over 100 times. I'm not going to lie, I played with university for the first time last year, and I didn't even know that this was a thing, and I just found this really fun. I don't know why. But you're also going to join the secret society, which I have never done. So that's going to be pretty fun. I'm not going to lie. The next generation is Evergreen Harbor. And I'm not going to lie, I think the eco lifestyle one was the hardest one for me to write, probably because it's the one that I know the least about. But of course, the pack is eco lifestyle. Your aspirations are either eco innovator or master maker. Your career is going to be a civil designer. Your traits are going to be maker, green fiend, and freegan. This sim has a passion for the environment. If this sim had a motto, it would be reduce, reuse, and recycle. They have a kind and generous heart and just want to make the world a better place. However, they are incredibly shy and have a fear of people staring at them. Sometimes it is easier to hide their face from the world. Your goals here are to complete 1 aspiration, to max the civil designer career, to wear a paper bag in at least 1 outfit for each category. I did this so like, you know how you can have up to like 5 everyday outfits and 5 cold weather outfits and 5 swimwear outfits, you get the gist. In at least one of those, you have to wear a paper bag on your head. I don't know why, I just thought it was silly. And I'm not gonna lie, it also reminds me of Mono from Little Nightmares 2, and I love Mono. Justice for Mono. You must own at least 10 eco-friendly items, so I'm talking wind turbines, solar panels, water collectors, those kind of things. Go dumpster diving 10 times, woohoo in a dumpster, and make your neighborhood green. I have no idea how to do that, but I suppose we're gonna find out. Gen 14 is Mount Komorebi, and I love Mount Komorebi. The pack is, of course, Snowy Escape. The aspirations are extreme sports enthusiast and Mount Komorebi sightseer. The career is salary person. The traits are adventurous, proper, and active. And this sim has the most boring job imaginable. Yet they crave adventure. Their lifelong ambition is to one day reach the peak of Mount Komorebi. Problem is, there just doesn't seem to be enough hours in the day. Their sim loves their home and wants to explore all the mountain has to offer. If only they didn't have to work. And your goals here are to complete 1 aspiration, to max the salary person career, to reach the peak of Mount Komorebi, to reach level 10 in rock climbing skill, to reach level 10 in the skiing skill, to hike all 3 routes, and to complete the Simi capsule collection, which I have tried, and there are so many of them, I've never done it, so that's also going to be a bit of a challenge, I'm not going to lie. And Gem 15 is England, of course. It's Henford upon Bagley, or Henford on Bagley. I don't know if it's Henford on Bagley again or Henford upon. I think it's on, because I think I googled it. I always say upon though, because I actually don't live that far from Stratford upon Avon. So for some reason, I always call this Henford upon Bagley, but I don't think it is. Anyway, your packs here are cottage living and nifty knitting. Your aspiration is country caretaker. You don't have a career for this one, or at least no standardized one anyway. Your traits are lactose intolerant, animal enthusiast, and loves outdoors. This sim prefers a very simple and private life, but longs to be part of a close-knit community. They found that in Henford on Bagley. They are content to spend their days raising livestock and knitting by the fire on a winter's evening. They love their animals as if they were family and care deeply about the residents of their village. And for this one, you are going to complete the country caretaker aspiration, reach level 10 of the knitting skill, own at least one of each farm animal, which is cow, chicken, llama, goat, and sheep. I know that goats and sheep are from horse ranch, but they are also farm animals, so I wanted to include them here. You need to attend a village fair, which I'm not going to lie, I never do. Grow each type of oversized crop, hatch 3 chicks, and hide an item under Sophie. Gen 16 is Tartosa. I have combined my wedding stories and home chef hustle. Your aspiration is appliance whiz. You're going to be in the culinary career, and your traits are foodie, romantic, and clumsy. I did think about adding Dine Out to this one as well, but I know that Dine Out is so buggy unless you have, I think it's Carl's Dine Out mod, but I know that obviously not everybody has access to mods or wants to download mods, so I kept it as Home Chef Hustle. I figured that was a safer bet. Also, Home Chef Hustle is a really good pack. I can't remember if I told you the traits, but the traits are foodie, romantic, and clumsy. I just thought there was something fun about having a clumsy chef. Living in the most romantic world, this sim has seen their fair share of weddings. In fact, they make their career catering for weddings. They have a passion for food and have loved cooking and baking ever since their parents allowed them to help in the kitchen. Every time they went to work, there was one question on their mind. Would they ever get married themselves? And the goals are to complete the Appliance Whiz aspiration, to max the culinary career, reach level 10 in the cooking skill, to reach level 10 in gourmet cooking or baking. You can choose whichever one you want to do. I'm not going to lie, I might try all 3. Bake every single type of wedding cake, attend 3 weddings, and leave or witness a sim being left at the altar. I did leave or witness a sim being left at the altar because, as I said before, I was trying to steer away from having specific story stuff happen to your sims in the goals. But obviously, leaving a sim at the altar is something that can be done at a wedding. So I was like, okay, if you don't want this to happen to your sim, you can witness, like, I don't know, your sim's sibling or your sim's parent or your sim's child leave somebody at the altar. So you would complete the challenge by doing that. Gen 17 is Moonwood Mill. We only have 10 more to go. The packs are werewolves and paranormal stuff. The aspiration is werewolf initiate. Your career is paranormal investigator. And your traits are grouch, glutton, and self-assured. This sim thrives at night. They always felt different, but becoming a werewolf gave them a sense of belonging. They always felt a strong connection to the moon and felt more alive when it was full. They are mischievous, but always hunger for more power. Will they learn to embrace the wolf? And your goals here are to complete the werewolf initiate aspiration, to complete 10 gigs as a paranormal investigator, to reach level 10 of the mischief skill, to fight Greg and fight a vampire, to explore the secret tunnels 5 times, and reach level 10 of the medium skill. Gen 18 is Copperdale, and your pack is high school years, of course. Your aspirations are admired icon, goal-orientated, drama llama, live fast, and best-selling author. This will all make sense as to why there's so many in just a moment. Your career is the education career, which I know comes with university, but it does kind of tie into the whole school thing. And your traits are socially awkward, overachiever, and bookworm. Later in life, this sim would often reminisce back to their high school days. They had quite the time. They were a bit of a geek, a socially awkward teen into video games and books, but with a passion to succeed in life. This sim wanted nothing more than to pass their knowledge to future generations. And your goals here are to complete at least one of the teen aspirations. So these 4 are the teen aspirations: admired icon, goal orientated, drama llama, and live fast. So you've got to complete at least one of those. And then you're also going to complete the best-selling author aspiration when your sim then ages up into a young adult. I was very conscious with this generation that I didn't want all of the gameplay to be high school based, even though it is high school years, because I figured once you then age up into a young adult, that's going to get very boring very fast because you will have literally done it. So I wanted to try and set them up for their future whilst in high school. So that's why I did it this way. So yeah, complete at least one of the teen aspirations, complete the best-selling author aspiration, and max the education career. You're going to reach level 10 in video gaming skill, become prom royalty or prom jester, earn all the scout badges, which I have never done. So I'm intrigued to do this. And you have a high school romance. Whether or not you stay with that person is entirely up to you. Gen 19 is San Sequoia, and the packs are growing together in parenthood. And I'm not going to lie to you, I was so surprised when I was researching San Sequoia and Growing Together, how little gameplay actually came in Growing Together. I'm not going to lie, I was struggling for goals for this generation. This was hard. But your aspirations are either big happy family or super parent. Your career is you're going to be a criminal. And your traits are recycle, disciple, family orientated, and snob. To everyone else, this sim is the perfect parent with the perfect family. They recycle, they love their family, yet they are a little snobbish, thinking that their life is better than everybody else's. Little does the neighborhood know, this sim is hiding some dark secrets. So yeah, this sim, surface level, is the perfect person. Underneath, maybe not so much. And you know what? I kind of love that for them. So they have to complete one aspiration to max the criminal career, reach level 10 in parenting skill and level 10 in handiness skill. You've got to cheat on your partner. Now, I know that that's a gameplay thing, but the reason I included it is, of course, because Growing Together introduced family dynamics. And I figured, if you were caught cheating, that would change your family dynamic potentially, that family dynamics may have a part to play in that. So I did figure it was part of the pack, so that's why I included it. You also need to have a child learn to ride a bike. That could be you as a child if you wanted to, or well, not you, but this sim. That could be this sim, or you can have one of your own children learn to ride a bike. It doesn't really matter. And to have an infant try all of the baby foods. Again, could be the sim, could be one of their children. I've left it quite open for you to decide. Gen 20 is Chestnut Ridge. The pack is Horse Ranch, and you've got 2 aspirations to choose from. They are Championship Rider and Expert Nectar Maker. You have no standardized career for this one. Your traits are Rancher, Horse Lover, and Slob. Horses, horses, horses. This sim loves horses. These majestic beasts are never far from this sim's mind. Do they love horses more than humans? Possibly. Nothing will ever come between them and running a successful horse ranch. And your goals here are to complete one aspiration, to reach level 10 in horse riding skill and level 10 in nectar making skill, to obtain vitality nectar, to complete 10 levels in Dreadhorse Caverns. I have never been in Dreadhorse Caverns, I'm not going to lie, I am so excited for this one. To spot the ghostly horse, and to earn gold at a ranch gathering, which is also an event I have never done. I have had a horse in game, I've just never done half of the gameplay for it. Not going to lie, my voice is giving out so much, I just keep telling myself, nearly there, nearly there. I should have waited until I was better to record this. Gen 21 is Tomarang, and the pack is for rent. Your aspirations are 5-star property owner, seeker of secrets, discerning dweller, and fount of Tomarani knowledge. There is no standardized career for this one, though I think you do have to max a career. And your traits are child of the village, cringe, and nosy, or you can change it to generous. It's completely up to you. To be fair, you could change any of these traits to generous. This sim fell in love with Tomarang from the moment they arrived. They love the idea of a close-knit community, downtown markets, and a place full of culture. However, this sim is rather quirky. In fact, I think cringe is a better word. And nosy, definitely nosy. Knowledge is power. And this sim is on a mission to uncover the secrets of others. And here you have to complete at least one aspiration, so you get to choose one of these 4. Max any career, live in a residential rental and own a 5-star rental, learn 5 secrets, have the mold lot challenge on, and adopt a tiger. Now, I was speaking to a friend about this and she had no idea about this gameplay feature. When I say adopt a tiger, I'm not talking about like you need to go onto the gallery and download like a dog that has been turned into a tiger by some very creative person, because I know that there are some tigers, you can get tigers on the gallery, and adding a tiger into your household. I'm not talking about that at all. There is literally a tiger sanctuary in Tomarang where you can go and pay money to adopt a tiger, and you get a tiger plushie in exchange for adopting the tiger. Maybe I'll change that to get a tiger plushie or earn a tiger plushie. There we go, actually. I'll change it right now so people don't get confused. But yeah, don't worry. Nobody has to go adopting any tigers off the gallery. Gen 22 is love struck in the world Cuidad Enamorada. The aspirations are romantic explorer or paragon partner. The career is romance consultant. The traits are love bug or romantically reserved. You can choose. These 2 traits conflict, so it's completely up to you which one you want to pick. I'll probably randomize which one. Art lover and kleptomaniac. Romance is always on the mind of this sim. The problem is they have found it difficult to keep a partner due to their tendency to steal things. They just can't help their sticky fingers sticking to items that aren't theirs. Will they be able to find another sim that accepts them, flaws and all? And the goals here are to complete 1 aspiration, to max the romance consultant career, to complete the axolotl collection, to reach level 10 in painting skill and level 10 in romance skill, to meet a partner on Cupid's Corner, and to woohoo in the Biso Rapido Motel. Gen 23 is Ravenwood, and you'll know that I have lived here a lot recently if you're watching my Elemental Legacy Challenge, because I actually live here in Gen 1. And I'm actually also living in Ravenwood in another Sims Legacy that I'm playing off camera as well. So I'm not going to lie, I'm getting quite sick of Ravenwood at the moment, but Ravenwood is actually an amazing place to live in-game. The world is just so alive, which is really weird considering obviously it's Grim Reaper's world, but you get the idea. The pack is, of course, Life and Death. The aspiration is Ghost Historian. The career is Grim Reaper. And your traits are Chased by Death, Macabre, and Gloomy. From a young age, there has been one person that always fascinated this sim. Grim, of course. Who is he? What is he? How does he poof in and out of existence? This sim is determined to find the answers to these questions. Ravenwood may be shrouded in darkness, but this sim has never felt more at home. And you have to complete the Ghost Historian aspiration, max the Grim Reaper career, reach level 5 Thanatology skill, to complete Alice's Sorrow, to move on to the Great Beyond or be reborn, to woohoo with the Grim Reaper, and complete the Tarot card collection. Gen 24 is Nordhaven. The packs are Businesses and Hobbies and Laundry Day. I'm not going to lie, I completely forgot I put that in here. And your aspirations are Esteemed Entrepreneur or Master Mentor. You don't have an actual career because you become a small business owner in this one, and your traits are Idealist, Hates Children, and Perfectionist, or you can change the Idealist trait to Shady if you want to. This sim is a go-getter. They are also incredibly practical, living and working on the same lot. Whoever said that you can't make money from the comfort of your own home? Making money is the main focus of this sim's life. In fact, they rarely tear themselves away from their business in order to think about their future. And you're going to complete 1 aspiration to own a 5-star business, add laundry gameplay. I'm not going to lie, I think laundry is a challenge enough. Reach level 10 in either a pottery or tattooing skill, to teach 5 classes, and to complete the bike parts or the Trashly certified art collection. You can choose which collection you want to complete. And to create a family recipe, which I'm not going to lie, I didn't even know was a thing. Okay, hang in there, guys. We're nearly done. Gen 25 is Innisgreen. The pack is Enchanted by Nature. The aspirations are Fairy Stories, Nature Nomad, or Elixir Enthusiast. The career is Naturopath. I think that's how you say it anyway. And your traits are Mystical, Plant Lover, and then you're going to randomize your last trait. I very much wrote this one as well, so if you didn't want to become a fairy, you don't have to become a fairy. I probably will because I think that's quite fun, but if you don't want to become a fairy, you don't have to. This sim loves plants, nature, and folklore, especially fairies. They have always loved tales of mystical creatures and would research myths and legends in their free time. This literally sounds like me, apart from the point about liking plants. I do love plants, don't get me wrong. I do not have a green thumb. But what if they weren't just myths and legends? What if they were real? This sim moved to Innis Green, a place full of folklore and fables, in order to find out one way or another. So your goals here are you're going to complete 1 aspiration, max the naturopath career, reach level 10 in the gardening skill, reach level 10 in the natural living skill, complete 5 fables, bring a gnome to life, and woohoo in the sky. Now, if you're thinking, oh, but you have to be a fairy to woohoo in the sky. No, you actually don't. Only one sim has to be a fairy to woohoo in the sky. So you can have a fairy sim woohoo with a non-fairy sim and they can still woohoo in the sky. So you don't have to become a fairy if you don't want to. I'm not going to lie though, I think the reason that most people brought this pack was probably for fairies, because I certainly did, because I don't really care about the plant stuff. But we'll still have fun playing through it. Gen 26 is Gibby Point. Your pack is, of course, Adventure Awaits, and your aspiration is Critter Hunter. You're going to be a park worker, and your traits are competitive, jealous, and childish. You will never meet a sim more competitive than this one. To them, life is a competition. They always have to be the best, and they become jealous and childish when they aren't. But they aren't all bad. They love outdoor activities and entomology. Their competitive nature has certainly allowed them to pick up some interesting skills. And the goals here are to complete the Critter Hunter aspiration, to reach level 5 in the park worker career. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why is it not to max it? I have watched several videos recently and done quite a bit of research just on the internet in general. It is near impossible to max the park worker career. So I just thought, okay, let's go to a midway point and let's go for level 5. You've got to reach level 10 in the paper crafting skill, to reach level 5 in archery, to win a getaway competition. I've never done that. That's going to be fun. To bring the imaginary friend to life. Hence why if you start in Gibby Point, you can do it, but you do need to start as a child. And you must also complete the butterfly collection, which I think is actually going to be quite fun. I'm quite excited for that bit. Okay, guys, I hope you brought snacks for all of this because we're here. And finally, we're here, Gen 27 on Darion. The pack is, of course, the most recent, Royalty and Legacy. Your aspiration is Social Puppeteer. You're going to be a no-bore in your career. And your traits are cheerful, non-committal, and music lover. This is a sim with a high social standing. They are cheerful and love music. They are loved by many. The only problem? They simply cannot commit to a relationship. Will they be able to achieve founding a dynasty when they are constantly part of a scandal? And you must found a dynasty, max the noble career, pull the sword from the stone, which I am very excited about, reach level 10 with 2 types of instruments, reach level 10 in the swordsmanship skill, win a sword fighting competition, and complete the Trials of Anansi. It's either Anansi or Anansi, I don't really know. And that is it. We are here. We have done it. We have read through 27 generations of this thing. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I did actually make a starting sim for this challenge. So I've made a sim. I'm all set up to go. And I'm going to start recording this hopefully soon. Hopefully once I'm better. Though I'm not going to lie, I'm probably not going to be able to wait. And it probably won't be when I'm better. It'll probably be soon. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you are looking forward to this as much as I am, and I will see you in the next video and hopefully for some gameplay. See you soon. Bye bye.